rescues. Animals fighting to survive.
Oh, that's him.
Not good. And dangerous situations for the Michigan Humane Society's animal heroes.
Watch that neck up.
He's gonna head for that space.
This is just a little nuts, ain't it?
Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City and birthplace of Motown, is home to the Michigan Humane Society. It's the state's leading nonprofit animal welfare organization. 4 investigators handle the 4,000 cruelty cases investigated by the Michigan Humane Society each year.
Michigan Humane Society, may I help you?
Working alongside the cruelty investigators is a small team of rescue drivers. They're on call day and night to rescue animals in danger and go to the aid of unwanted and lost pets. They must be prepared for anything.
The job it can't be dangerous on a regular basis, and that I think is a lot of what keeps us going, because it's very exciting, and to be able to assist your partners and your rescue drivers and things like that, to be able to help each other out when the situation does get dangerous, that is a very exciting part of the job.
Rescue driver DeAndre Folks is working the late shift. He's a bit concerned about whether he can handle the next job on his own.
That's a 10 for it. I just received the call about a drug raid in progress. I want to try to assist the DPD in removing 4 loose dogs out of the yard without hurting myself or the dogs.
The Detroit police are already at the location. Sergeant Rodney Jackson of Narcotics briefs folks.
Hey, that was wrong.
Sergeant Jackson, that about 5 people was in the backyard. We executed certain location.
Jackson believes that narcotics have been thrown into the yard and they want to search it. But first, they need folks to remove the dogs. It's going to be difficult. They're loose and very aggressive.
Actually, I won't be able to get them through the fence. I'm going to have to go through the house and to the yard. Other than that, the dog's going to kill each other.
It's too dangerous for folks to go into the yard. They'll have to work through the door. He manages to put a leash on the most dominant dog, but it isn't strong enough. The safest way to remove a dog this aggressive is with a control stick. The dog has exhausted himself, and Folks is able to carry him to the truck.
3 more to go. Yeah, a lot like that other nutcase. Stop, move back. Back. This is the son of that one. And you can tell. I don't think he's gonna touch it as long as the dude did, though.
Even though the most aggressive dog has been removed, the others are still on the attack.
These cats is crazy. Now. There we go.
It's been a grueling hour's work for Folks, and it's not over yet.
2 more.
The rescue department is referred a call to the animal cruelty investigators.
By them sometime being on the rescue, they might see something that we need to go respond to, and they'll come pass that information along to us. So the main thing is just teamwork. We're all a team.
A goose has been injured in a cemetery. Investigators Debbie McDonald and Mark Ramos head out to the west side of Detroit.
Well, we've got a report that there's a goose here that has an arrow through his neck. And we're going to go take a look at the situation. We picked up a loaf of bread. We're going to just try the easy approach first and, act like anybody else who comes out to the cemetery and feeds the ducks and the geese and see if we can get close enough for them to just pick them up. You see him, Mark?
Yeah. It looks like it's through most of the fleshy part of his neck here, right at the base. But he's got half an arrow sticking out on either side of his neck, so it definitely went straight through.
The goose needs urgent help. Unfortunately, no one witnessed the shooting, so bringing a prosecution for cruelty will be impossible. After assessing the situation, McDonald and Ramos head back to the shelter for more manpower. Coordinator Matt Sharp and rescue driver Corey Bachul help get the equipment ready. The best chance of catching the Canada goose is with a net gun. First, they test out the equipment.
There's always a possibility of the goose getting injured, but that's why we're taking all these practice shots so that we can minimize that risk.
They return to the cemetery with Sharp and Bachul.
Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
All
right.
right.
That's him.
The plan is to spread out and surround the goose.
He's crossing the road.
The bird is heading for the water.
I'm going to turn around and come back the other way.
Even though he's injured, the goose is still mobile.
He's on the other side of the road.
If he gets into the water, he'll be impossible to catch.
And you're going to get him right there.
He's got to be stopped.
Where is he?
He's coming up. Take it. Didn't even take it far enough.
No.
Coordinator Max Sharp and rescue driver Corey Bachul are along to help with the capture.
If we take this road straight back, we'll see him. He's right up back over here. He's right back there. He is. Yep. Goose is like right there. But you may get a shot if he comes out.
Hang on, because I don't want to take out Grandma's headstone, so.
No. Yeah, see, here he comes.
No, he's not.
He doesn't know what to do because Max is there.
Yeah, but don't let him come back this way. Don't make him fly. Don't hit him. Don't run over somebody dead.
I'm going to get out. Going into the water. He's going to head for that space.
Watch that net go.
He's going to head for that space. They need to hurry up because he's getting close. This way, in case he comes back.
This way?
He's flying. There he goes. He just crashed. He's coming straight at us. He's way tired. He's having a hard time running. He's trying to fly, but he's just falling over as soon as he lands. Get that net. Hold on. His head is looking. His head is down. If you can come in straight in front of me, you might be able to grab him. Real slow. Stay low. Stay low.
Bachul catches the goose with a net.
You want to hold on to his head too?
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh man. You know what?
Just let me slide this up. When we get some
What do you
square
wanna
on
do
this
with this?
arrow. I want to cut the tips off when we get it back to the truck.
It's plastic. Maybe we can cut it right now.
They don't want to cause further damage by removing the arrow.
Okay, there we go.
but shortening it will make it easier to transport the Canada goose.
He's tired.
Back at the Michigan Humane Society's downtown shelter, Dr. Patricia Madsen is waiting to examine the bird.
He couldn't tuck his head under his wing.
It looks like it's just back behind all of the vital structures in his neck, so I'm just gonna try to pull it out. How's that? It doesn't appear to be bleeding. I'm just gonna try to clean it up with a little bit of saline, and then we'll probably get him on some antibiotics. Yeah, the worst case scenario is that the skin right here might be dead, and that might fall off. But hopefully he'll be okay. Good job rescuing, Debbie.
Took a lot of people.
Yeah.
We'll rebuild him. He'll be bigger, better, stronger than he was before.
Michigan Humane Society night rescue driver DeAndre Folks has been called out to assist on a police raid. The cops want to search a backyard, but are prevented by 4 loose, aggressive pit bulls. They call in Folks to remove them. So far, he's succeeded in taking 2 away. Now that the 2 fiercest dogs have been removed, it's easier to catch the 3rd one.
There's just one more though. Need some water. I ain't had no water, man.
The last dog is tired, and Folks is now able to go into the backyard.
Let's roll, puppy. Come on. Come on, baby.
Now that the yard is clear of dogs, Sergeant Jackson can send his team in to search it.
What happened is one of the gentlemen that was inside of this raid location threw the narcotics in the backyard where the animals were as we were attempting to secure the house. And naturally, we couldn't go retrieve the narcotics until the house was cleared.
Pit bulls have big hearts and they don't fight. So a pit bull will guard your house and it would die trying to guard your home. And that's why they're so big with drug dealers. Because their loyalty is unquestioned. He was the one that I had all the problems with.
Back at the Detroit shelter and away from their own environment, the pit bulls are easier to handle. Now they'll be cared for by the Michigan Humane Society until their future is decided. Telephone operator Shelley Rapp has received a call about a kitten trapped underground in a drain.
The weather is supposed to rain today. It's supposed to have thunderstorms in the afternoon, so we're going to get them up before it starts raining.
It's very urgent they get to the kitten immediately, or there's a chance the kitten could drown. Normally, a rescue driver would go, but investigator Debbie McDonald and coordinator Max Sharp are already in the neighborhood, so they take the call. The house is vacant. A neighbor first heard the kitten 2 days ago. He directs McDonald and Sharp to the area where he heard its cry. They can't see anything.
Whatever it is, it sounds like it's too little to pull itself back up.
Yeah, it is. It's a kitten.
Yeah, it's like a tiny kitten, huh? Like newborn kind of thing, huh?
Oh, he's been down there a while, a day.
We can dig him out.
Rescue driver Corey Bothiel arrives with shovels and other tools.
How many shovels you got? 2. Okay, cool, thank you.
We're just digging them up.
We're digging.
Break the pipe open.
We're digging down to the pipe to see if we can maybe break the pipe and reach in and pull him out.
They discovered the pipe splits into 2 directions. Now they can't hear the kitten.
He's not talking anymore.
He's losing air.
McDonald and Sharp are worried it might have suffocated from the falling dirt in the pipe.
You know what? What if I got a stethoscope in the truck?
Sharp uses the stethoscope to see if he can hear anything.
Bingo.
Which
He
one?
hears the cat in the pipe on the right.
Good.
Shark reaches in, but can only feel dirt.
And if we had a shot back, you can suck some of that dirt out there, kill him
Right on to it.
right onto it and pick him up and pull him out. We got no way to run electric. If we got a shot back, can we run an extension cord across the street?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. 14 to base, when Corey comes in, if you could send out the extension cord and the shot back, that'd be really good.
2 hours have passed. The pressure's building. They can hear the storm heading their way. Rescue driver Corey Boswell is back again with a vacuum cleaner.
A little bit at a time.
Oh, yeah.
They can now hear the cat, but still can't reach it.
Oh, I see what it does.
See that joint right there? It's loose. Right here?
So you're saying lift it up?
Just lift it up.
You can try.
Hang on, you got a hole, Max.
Where?
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
That's him.
That's him.
All right. Oh, let me tap a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it, because I'm going to fall head first.
Yeah, guys. He's not good.
We got him. 14 base. He's in bad shape. We gotta get him in. Let's just let him go.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta hope. I mean, she's a fighter to be alive for this long, so. And we get her in and hopefully some warm fluids and hot water bottles and just hope that's enough to bring her back.
They've been in close radio contact with the shelter, and evaluator Sheila Carroll is standing by.
Is she shaking? That's good.
That's good. She's
That's
trying to
good.
warm up. That's your body's way of trying to warm itself up. So that's a very good thing.
Yeah, she's shaking now. That's wonderful. Oh,
Yes.
Right.
It's gonna feel better if we get some
Get
fluids
some
into
fluids in
her.
you and a hot water bottle. You're just gonna turn them all back.
Yeah. Okay, sweetie. Oh, she really does have the dirt in there. Her poor little eyes are. It's just like washing a baby here.
Oh, we hear you.
Yes. Good. Fight for us. That's what we want to see. Just because she's damp, I'm gonna put the dryer on her for a minute.
The kitten's condition is critical. If she survives the next 24 hours, she may have a fighting chance at life. Rescue driver Aaron Miller has been called out to an emergency on a freeway.
Well, we're heading over to I-96 eastbound where we're meeting up with the state police. There's been a dog running on the freeway, so we're going to assist them and try to get that dog out of there. This call is very urgent. The dangers of dogs on the freeway. Dogs don't know traffic. They don't know what it's about. They'll just run out right into traffic, right in front of oncoming cars. So it's a very high-risk situation.
The state police Miller was expecting are not there.
Unit 21 to base. We are approaching where the dog should be. Oh, no.
Miller spots two members of the public on the median. They're with the dog, who needs to get to them urgently.
It's a really small median that they're on. I'm actually worried that the truck might not fit. I don't know how to get to where those people are. We can't get onto Express from over here. We're gonna have to pull up on the other side of that barrier and lift the dog over it.
rush hour, making it very difficult and dangerous to cut across the traffic. But Miller must reach the couple who caught the dog.
Come on, truck. Come on, truck. Has it been hit?
No, he was running around in traffic. We got him into the middle here. Hold on to him.
The dog is in bad shape. He has a tumor on his underside and a large area of hair loss, probably due to mange. Mange is an infestation of mites that live under the skin. The dog is not aggressive. He's weak and afraid.
Good boy. The dog's actually in pretty bad condition, but nothing due to being on the expressway. He's probably in a lot of pain, especially with the tumor and the itching from the mange. So he's very lucky that we found him today.
Miller heads straight back to the shelter, where an evaluator will be standing by.
He's in a lot of pain. We're gonna have him looked at by an evaluator, but they're probably gonna decide to put him to sleep due to the amount of pain that he's in, and his condition is so severe he would not be adoptable.
The dog has been prevented from creating havoc on the freeway and saved from a violent death. But sadly, because of his serious medical condition, veterinary staff at the shelter decide he should be humanely euthanized. Rescue driver DeAndre Folks is out on an emergency.
I'm responding to a call. Lady said a dog was shot in the head. Trying to get out here to see if we can possibly save this animal's life, hopefully.
Incidents involving guns are always risky.
The biggest issue is if the person who shot the dog is still here. That's what the most dangerous part is, if the person who shot the dog is still here. Said he shot the dog in the head.
The dog is still alive. There's no visible blood, so the wound isn't easy to see.
Yeah, I don't see where he was shot at. I don't even see where the entry wound is. I'm just taking a guess that it's right on top of the head. So we're just going to try to hurry him back to the shelter. What I seen when I got there was a bunch of dudes across the street from where the animal was actually shot. The person who the dog was laying in yard didn't want to say anything. I personally believe that one of the guys across the street may have shot the dog, and she just didn't want to tell on him. 21 is 10-7 at the shelter with the shot dog. Come on, baby.
Folks is surprised that the dog is able to walk.
He seemed very limp when we first picked him up. Still want to make sure that he's all right. Come on, doggy. I need an evaluator to the garage, please. An evaluator to the garage.
Evaluator Kim Thomas is close by.
Yeah, he's like kind of weak. He hasn't snapped anything of that nature. When I just came out of here, he was able to walk, so.
Thomas calls in Dr. Shireen Cece.
Well, we're seeing the dog has an obvious wound to the top of the head, and we can't really tell because of the hair and the dried blood
what's underneath and what kind of a wound it is. So we're just gonna take the clippers and clip that hair away so that we can try to make a determination of what caused the wound.
Shaving the area is a delicate process for Thomas. Dr. Cece can't tell until the fur is removed how serious the wound is.
Well, the verdict at this time certainly looks like it's very round. It's a solitary wound. I would say more than likely some kind of gunshot wound, but not something that's large caliber, like a pellet gun, BB gun, something like that would make a wound. And actually, we really wouldn't know for sure unless we x-rayed and saw a pellet or a BB in there.
The dog will be closely monitored for the next 48 hours. Rescue driver Corey Bachul is out on what he thinks is a routine job. But soon he'll be making a shocking discovery.
Right now we're responding to a call on the west side. A gentleman is turning in his dog. Says that he can no longer care for it. He doesn't want it anymore. How you doing? What kind of dog is it? It's a border.
There's a stench from the mastiff that causes Bachul to suspect something is wrong.
Is he gonna be aggressive to anybody back here? Are you sure?
Bachul tells the man not to remove the collar.
Hold on for a second. Don't remove that. Let me get a leash for you.
Bachul realizes the collar is embedded and probably needs to be removed under sedation to cause the least possible distress to the dog.
What it is, this guy has, his dog has an embedded collar.
Bachul's main priority is to remove the dog and take it to the shelter for urgent medical attention. While he goes to the truck, however, the owner does take the collar off and discovers the wound. He says the dog has been bitten.
Think something bit him down there? Yeah, we'll have a vet check him out. I'll tell you what, why don't you bring him out here to the van, we'll put him in the truck. Good boy.
Bachul takes the collar to use as evidence.
I guess the guy doesn't know that that's a crime to have your dog lack of medical care with an embedded collar. We're gonna take this dog back to the shelter, have a doctor look at it, determine whether or not this was or was not an embedded collar, and take it to the investigator, see if they want to prosecute.
Bachul contacts the Cruelty Investigation Department to tell them what he's found. An investigator will be waiting to check on the dog and take over the case.
CID, yes, we do train the rescue drivers in certain situations so they would be able to tell the difference between what is a rescue and what is cruelty, what needs to be reported to us, and what they should do in certain situations, as far as writing a referral and also getting the animal out of harm's way.
It's been 5 days since the dog shot in the head was brought to the Michigan Humane Society shelter. He's been named Joey. Evaluator Kim Thomas has been monitoring Joey's progress. She updates Dr. Shireen Cece.
The wound itself is healing up very nicely. It's all closed over. So far, it looks like he's doing pretty well. I'm still going to put him in for an x-ray on this wound just to see if we do see any kind of a pellet or any kind of a BB or anything in that wound.
Thomas has noticed a problem with Joey's right front leg. Dr. Cece wants to check how he walks before she decides whether he can be put up for adoption.
There he goes. A good boy. Well, I'm just watching how he's moving, and certainly if we're going to place him up for adoption, we want a dog who is going to be normal and can play and interact. And, you know, the only thing I saw is just one time he kind of knuckled a little bit over on his front leg. See how did you catch that, how his leg goes? That's not typical. That's abnormal. Why don't you go down there and call him again? Joey, come on. The knuckling over and the gait of the dog is just a little bit off. I think we still have a little neurologic deficit. I don't think it's so bad that it hopefully it'll continue to improve and he'll be normal. You know, he gets along fine, he doesn't appear to be painful, but we may have a little deficit there in that light.
The next step is an x-ray to see if there's any sign of a bullet inside his head. Michigan Humane Society rescue driver Corey Bachule has arrived back at the shelter with a Bordeaux Mastiff whose collar was embedded. His name is Diablo.
Did it actually cut in?
Bachule has alerted cruelty investigator Debbie McDonald. Dr. Shireen Cece arrives to look at the wound.
I got the collar in the car. Well, the guy said it wasn't an embedded collar. He said the dog got bit by rats.
Really?
That's what he said.
Must have been a heck of a rat to make that cut. I don't think so. I think that collar embedded in his neck, and that's what we got. The amount of drainage and discoloration and odor on this dog, if you even bothered to look at him for 10 seconds, you would know that there was something wrong.
What's really bad about this one is just how far down the irritation is and how much it's affected the surrounding area. I mean, that's pretty serious right there.
But that looks better already.
For somebody to let that happen to a dog, I mean, you can see the drainage and, you know, it's obvious. You can smell it from pretty far away. The smell's overpowering. The visual of it is pretty graphic. I mean, how could you, and they were feeding him, he's not skinny. Are they going out put out food and water for this dog every day and not noticing all this ooze and gunk coming from his neck? Well, we are definitely going to pursue an arrest warrant for this situation. We'll get our medical back from our veterinarian, our pictures, and take this down to the prosecutor's office and hopefully get a warrant issued signed by the judge.
It's been 2 weeks since investigator Debbie McDonald and coordinator Matt Sharp rescued a stray kitten from an underground drain pipe. The kitten has recovered well from the ordeal and has been adopted by Sue Cosmas and her son Adam and daughter Lauren. They've named her Maya.
I like cheetahs and tigers, and she kind of looks like a great tiger.
I started a scrapbook on her, and I think it's so cool to see, like, I took a bunch of pictures of her, and I just like to see her grow and how she develops and plays.
My husband pretends not to like cats, but we caught him upstairs in the bedroom with the door closed, playing with her. After we had signed the adoption papers, then they told us about her story and how she was rescued out of the drain pipe. Well, obviously she had a rough start, but as you can see, there's nothing wrong with her now. So she's got a good home here, and we love her.
Joey, the dog shot in the head, is being taken to the shelter's x-ray department. The x-ray will determine if the bullet is in his skull. He causes no problems for the x-ray technicians. Dr. Cece checks Joey's head wound on the x-ray.
I don't see any type of lead projectile in this x-ray. They have a nice line, then it becomes fuzzy, and then another nice line, which that's right where the opening or the wound was. And I would say, looking at it and having a little fracture like that, I mean, gunshot would be my first inclination, but I can't explain where the pellet is at this point. And we certainly could go through and we could x-ray the whole dog looking for this, but we don't want to do any x-rays that aren't really necessary. It would account for his neurologic deficits that we see in his gait, because, I mean, certainly being hit in the head hard enough to actually fracture your skull would be something that could do that, definitely.
Dr. Cece believes the neurological damage affecting his leg will continue to improve. In any event, it shouldn't affect his chances of adoption.
All right, we're coming right here. Make it a left. We're coming in.
Wilson's like right there. Here we go.
It's been 3 weeks since the Michigan Humane Society was called to a cemetery to rescue a goose with an arrow through its neck.
Oh, man.
The wound has healed well, and investigators McDonald and Ronalds have the happy task of taking the Canada goose back to its home in the cemetery. Two cemetery employees are waiting to celebrate its return.
I ain't still gonna be glad when it's over. Right there. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Hey guys, we're back.
Look at him, look at him. Making his little noises. Look at him. Oh, yeah. He thought they called him for his buddy.
Yeah. Hey, where's the crew? Grandma and crew.
He's having a lot of fun, I think is what it is. He's glad to be back. He's out here, he's got his neck moving and stretching around and stretching his wings out, trying to be clean. He's just enjoying being back home.
Rescue driver Corey Bocchio heads out on an urgent call.
Right now, we're responding to a call on the east side of Detroit. It's stray dog. The caller states that the dog is sick and in her backyard. And we're going to try to make this location as soon as possible and see if we can assess the situation and see what action needs to be taken with this stray dog. Hey, how you doing? Good. Well, she just said that it's a skinny dog. She doesn't know what kind of dog it is, and it's in the garage, so we're going to see what's going on. I can see the dog's rear end right now. Hey, baby. You have any dogs? No. Okay. What you probably will want to do, that really smells like parvo, which is a real contagious disease. Bleach is the only thing that can kill that virus.
Parvo attacks the digestive system. Unfortunately, there's no treatment for the animal that will kill the virus. The stray dog was discovered by Angelia McCormick.
You said tend to pick up strays being right here off the alley. So, yeah, he's really sick, and I just wanted him to get some help.
Dog is so weak he could barely lift his head up.
This was about 2 hours ago. I pulled up, and then my mom pulled up, and then he was just there. He just appeared.
This is about as bad as it gets. Completely lethargic. No response. A dog like this, a stray dog, is not gonna let you pick him up, handle him, and touch him without showing some type of emotion. So we're gonna try to get him back to the shelter as soon as possible. Unit 26 is en route to the shelter with one. And one thing about parvo, it has a distinct smell. You can always tell pretty much what it is. You have to be extremely careful that you don't let this dog come in contact with other animals.
Right here.
Is he still
He's still alive.
Yeah. Corey, just leave where he is. We're going to try and get some stuff. We don't want to spread anything. I need to get stuff to take care of.
The disease, the virus attacks his digestive system. So we're just seeing this bloody diarrhea.
Well, I mean, we can't risk his condition right now. Can you just hold his head real quick?
Shelter manager Brendan Nolan quickly euthanizes the dog to end its pain and suffering.
The dog got here and it just completely bled out. And humane thing, we didn't know. I mean, obviously the dog was not at a point where it was going to make it. There's not a lot we could do, so we had to make a decision to humanely put the dog to sleep.
The staff uses bleach to clean and disinfect every surface the dog came into contact with. commuter with an unusual mechanical problem has arrived at the shelter.
I got a situation in the parking lot here. Got a cat. That's right, in the dashboard.
I left work and I was driving and I kept hearing a little meow, meow, and I kept hearing it. So, I was looking around in my car and going, it's not in my car, and I realized it had to be on my motor.
What it is, the cat is stuck. The only way we can see it now is through the top half of the glove box.
Shelter manager Brendan Nolan arrives to check on the situation.
What we're going to have you do is pull your vehicle into our garage. That way it's going to be a secured setting, so when we get the kitten out, we're not going to lose them.
They need an urgent solution. Panic is causing the kitten to get more entangled.
You almost need like a little noose or something.
Nolan comes up with the idea of sedating the kitten so that it won't struggle.
If we got him trained, I'm gonna see what clinic advises. Because if we can do that, then he's not gonna fight us, and then we might be able to get him out of there.
Nolan goes to consult veterinary technician Lisa Jameson. Having checked the kitten's approximate size, Jameson advises her colleague Joelle Allen on which tranquilizer to use. There's no time to lose. The kitten is immediately taken to Dr. Patricia Madsen.
It looks fine. It's a little bit hard to say because it's sedate, but its color is good. It has a good heartbeat, and it seems to be, its weight is good. So I don't think it's been in there very long.
After a few days' rest, there's every chance she'll be put up for adoption. It's been a month since Michigan Humane Society rescue driver Corey Bachule took Diablo, the Bordeaux Mastiff with the embedded collar, to the Detroit shelter. A warrant has been issued for the owner's arrest. If he's convicted of animal cruelty, he could face a $1,000 fine, community service, or even up to 93 days in jail. But it's a happy ending for Diablo. He now has a new home with Leslie Evans.
Diablo!
The wound on his neck has healed well.
Let's see. You can barely tell that it was there because the hair is growing back on it. At first I thought I wasn't going to be able to pull a collar on him, but as far as the scar on the front of him, we play and I pull on it, so it's doing okay. He likes to roll over on his back, and when he rolls over, all his jaws just fall back, and it's so funny. When we first saw it, we all laughed so much. That's a lot of jaws. Whoa! Oh, I could sit here all night and do this with the brush, or either my fingers or my toes. He just loves you to just do anything to him. Oh, that feels good, Diablo. Yeah. So he has a good home, and we're gonna love him to death.
You actually get an injured animal, and you see the animal nurse to health, and get placed in a home. It's a great feeling.
Get the satisfaction of knowing that if you weren't there, that those animals wouldn't have been helped. That's makes you feel pretty good.
If we can save one animal a day, and that makes it worth it.
Without our rescue service, a lot of these animals would be condemned to suffer. I don't think any living thing should have to suffer. There would be no rights for animals without the Michigan Humane Society. There's no one to stick up for them other than us.